So I did what I usually do when I'm frustrated, and I started writing this song over the course of one night where I was awake the whole time.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
And we welcome Alessia Cara. We love you, Alessia Cara.
Yay.
Thank God you're
Thank
here.
you. I love you guys too. It's good to virtually see you again.
We have to catch up on many things. We were just talking a few moments ago. The last time we hung out with Alessia was in October of 2019. Look at how the world has shifted since then, right?
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Little did we know.
Yeah, I know. And all the lessons we've learned and continue to learn, right?
Yeah, totally.
Well, let's catch up then. We have to talk about the music. We're going to get to that in a moment because I was following you on Instagram last night, and you wrote something very interesting, and I want you to kind of fill in the blanks, okay? But since we last spoke with you, you've become a mother.
Yes, to a dog,
I was like, wow, a lot of things happened.
It's like, wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, no. To a dog.
Yes, Cleo, the dog. Cleo looks like a little teddy bear.
She does look like a little teddy bear. She's like sitting right. Hold on, should I grab her? I'll give her a little cameo for you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Here she is.
Aww.
She was
look at
waiting
that.
for me,
Soft little teddy bear.
sitting down. There she is. Yeah, she looks like a giant stuffed animal.
Is this your first dog in your life?
It is. Yeah, it's my first dog, my first real pet. I've had like one bird in my life growing up, but that was it. I've never had any other pets. And she's my first, but I love her so much. I can't like imagine my life like not having her now.
It's weird, right? Because we got our second. We have two. So during pandemic, we got a little Ollie, and just the days they're not in the house, it's the most loneliest days ever. So congratulations on motherhood with Cleo, the dog.
Thank you. Yes, they say you know love until you become a mother, and then
That's true. Now let's figure out, where are you? Are you in Canada or are you in the United States?
I'm in Canada right now. I'm in my my house, my parents' house.
Right.
Yeah, just chilling. I'm here for a while until I got to travel back into the world.
Now, are they easing up travel restrictions between the U.S. and Canada, or is it still a little difficult to get back and forth?
Now, thankfully, they finally lifted the quarantine restriction, because before, when I traveled, I had to, every time you come back as a citizen, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks and be in your house, and they come and check on you.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, they actually do. I thought yeah, right, they won't come and check, but I obviously was home anyway, thank God. And they came and checked,
Wait, they actually come, they don't call you, they actually show up?
They show up.
Wow.
They want. It's like they want to catch you. Yeah, they want to catch you. It's crazy.
Damn.
Thank God I follow the rules, but if you don't, then you have to you get fined and all this stuff.
Wow.
It's crazy over here. But they lifted that finally.
You know, something else that happened while we were away from each other, we now are on doing mornings in Toronto.
Cool.
There's a station called Proud FM, so we're now invading across the border without having to quarantine. It's kind of fun.
You guys are global now.
We are. Okay, look, Alessia Cara, we got to talk about music.
Yeah.
Let me read what you wrote on Instagram yesterday.
Okay.
You said, when I finally put the pen down on this album, I noticed a thread that runs throughout. It's the theme of duality. So I decided to release 2 songs at the same time, one for each end of that thread. Now, the first song we're going to play today is called Sweet Dream, and it has to do with your experience with not being able to fall asleep.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, so has this been a problem for you for a while, not being able to sleep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always been something that I've struggled with, and since I was a kid, honestly. And I feel like it's become an infamous part of my personality. Anyone who knows me knows that I am always up. It's just you could text me at any time of day or night and I'll be awake. It's just a thing. So this particular period of time just got even more intense, and I just was not sleeping. There was a point where I was up for 3 days straight. I was having panic attacks, anxiety, all this stuff, and I was sick of it. So I did what I usually do when I'm frustrated, and I started writing this song over the course of one night where I was awake the whole time. And and Sweet Dream happened.
So, living with insomnia, which I know I do, I don't know how it compares to what you're living through, but do you find for all the insomniacs who are listening to us, is there one thing you can do that will sometimes lull you away finally to a little bit of sleep?
Yeah, I feel like it has to be for me a combination of things. It can't just be one. Like I have to do a whole ritual before bed to like turn my brain off. So I like take a hot bath or hot shower to like calm my body, and then I will light a candle. I wear these ugly, awful like blue blocker glasses that help with the light. So if I have to do emails or something before bed, I'm not staring at a blue screen, because the blue light like will trick your brain into thinking it's daytime. So it'll like it won't turn off. So I do that. Sometimes I'll take melatonin. I'm also on medication for my anxiety as a separate thing, which also has been helping with my sleep too, thankfully. So it's a combination of things. It's like a big recipe of stuff.
Okay, the point I want to get to here is the fact that you're talking about it in your music. You're bringing it to the surface. Not only do you have no problem talking about insomnia, but also anxiety. It's so important. I mean, so many people are still sweeping these things under the rug as if it's. I don't know. I don't get it anymore. It seems like the more we talk about it, the more we share with each other, the further we go in trying to figure it out. What do you think?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I feel like for me, it was personally it was difficult in the beginning. One, because I didn't know how to talk about it or I didn't know what was going on. But then also like there's a sense of shame that comes with, anxiety or something to do with mental health. I feel like we're kind of shamed out of speaking about it because maybe we have a good life on paper or, in theory or whatever. There's a bunch of, I guess, reasons, but I feel like you should treat mental health just like any type of health, like body health and emotional health. Like it's so important to take care of your brain as you would your body. You wouldn't neglect your body. You wouldn't like starve yourself for days on end, for no reason. Like, so why would you just neglect your mind? And why would you neglect talking about your mind or getting help for your mind if it needs it? Like if I broke my leg, I'd wear a cast. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to tough it out like caster for the week, So I feel like people have this stigma around mental health where we're like, oh no, like therapy's for weak people or medication is bad or, and I feel like it's not a one size fits all, obviously, but it's important to be open about it and treat it as you would any type of health.
And especially now, because they're saying since the pandemic, more people than ever have anxiety. And especially in the youth, more younger people have it because of everything that's been going on. And it's just been very hard to deal with so much.
Totally. You know what? There's a statistic that my therapist actually told me, and like, I guess to talk me out of my shame. And she said there are more cases of anxiety than there are pandemic numbers, basically. So the numbers for anxiety, like for like relapses or mental health declines are higher than actual COVID cases, which that should put into perspective for you how common it is, So, I mean, it's not like a niche thing. It's like we all are dealing with it in different ways. And why are we not talking about it more,
Yep.
We have to get to the music, but I was kind of interested in this topic because I can relate. I know a lot of people listening can relate.
Yeah, for sure.
Anxiety and insomnia really have a lot in common.
Yep.
I have found that the only time I can finally go to sleep at night is when I just kind of let myself off the hook and go, okay, you may not go to sleep tonight, whatever, and not worry about it. And I seem to worry about it less. Okay, well, if I don't sleep tonight, what's the worst that's going to happen? Okay, I'm going to be sleeping tomorrow. Okay, well, here we go. And when I'm anxious, when anxiety kicks in, I just remind myself, okay, you're a little on edge. Okay, whatever. It's good. You're going to be on edge for a while. That's where you are right now. And I feel with me anyway, it helps me kind of get through that a little faster. Is that your dog barking or mine?
Yeah, no, mine. Sorry, I don't know why she's barking.
What up, Cleo?
Not sure why. She probably heard the neighbors. The neighbors are doing like work in their backyard, and so there's like all these strange people walking, and she's like freaking out.
Well, that's what she's doing.
Okay. Yeah, she's protecting. She thinks she's bigger than her.
Cleo's doing what Cleo should be doing, being a dog. All right, that's so true. These two songs released right around now. Sweet Dream, of course, talking about that side of your duality. And then there's Shapeshifter, which is a totally different fiery kind of end of the spectrum. What is Shapeshifter about?
Yeah, so Shapeshifter is, like I said in that post and like we were talking about, there's, I always think of time as like a thread or like a person as like a thread. And there's different ends of the spectrum. There's, where I started and where I ended up, and so in this last year, I mean, this album is like an encapsulation, of the last year and where I was at. So Sweet Dream is kind of where I started. And then even though Shapeshifter is actually the first song I wrote for this album, I wrote this song back in 2019. but I feel like it represents where I've ended up lyrically, in the sense that it feels accepting of this situation that happened to me. You know, it's like I got my feelings hurt, yada yada yada, the usual classic story. But I feel like the way that I addressed it in this song felt so like confident, and it had this like sass to it, and this acceptance of the situation that doesn't feel so much like poor me. It feels like poor you for missing out on me. You know, there's this confidence, and so it's kind of the point B that I'd like to end up at eventually, and where I'm sort of heading, thankfully, in this last year, through getting the help I need and you know, raising my self-esteem in different ways. I feel like that's kind of the end of the thread, you know, that confidence and that unwavering sort of sophistication and confidence. So yeah.
Just turning us on, Alessia Cara is with us. New songs out. We're about to play Sweet Dream in a few seconds. So the world's opening up.
Yeah.
We're going, I don't think we're thinking as much as we're going back to where we were, because I don't think we want to go there. It's a new beginning, actually, for a lot of us. Are you thinking about your music, performing in the studio? Is that what it feels like for you right now? It's like time to reset and start over a little bit? Totally.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like in the music world, things always go from like 0 to 100. There's no like winding down or winding up to it. It's just like immediately starting. So I feel like I blinked and now I'm like starting again. It's just like back on, which is exciting. It's so good to, you know, be back after having a year of reflection and like stillness. It's so nice because I feel like there's just a whole new perspective on my job and what I do and, you know, what we get to do for a living. It's, you know, you take it for granted sometimes when you're going through the motions every day, you know, and it's not until you don't have it that you realize like how fun it is, you know, so I'm glad to be back for sure. It's exciting.
In your cooking, I hear you're rattling the pans a lot. Is this true?
Yes. I don't know if I'm cooking well, but I'm attempting.
What are you burning?
What am I burning?
What'd you burn last night?
I didn't burn anything last night, thankfully. I bought pizza last night, so that was not me. But the last thing I made, I like to make pasta, like different sauces. Like I'm really into doing like sauces. I made like this mushroom chicken sauce that was really good. Not burnt. I may have salted it too much. So it was a little salty, but it was very good, I must say. It was like a delicious like pasta with mushroom and chicken and spinach and all that.
Now, what about the stage? When are you going to be on a stage again?
Oh God, I don't know. If you have an answer, that'd be wonderful. I have no clue. I'm like planning on it. The plans are being made. I just don't have dates or anything. I mean, everyone's rushing to get on a stage now, so now you got to fight for the time.
You do, because you're so great.
Yeah.
You're so awesome when you're on stage and you're connecting with your fans. You're one of the best at it, as we've always thought. But Global Citizen Live is on the way. I know you're a part of that. I mean, the list of the people performing for this, it's frightening.
Yeah,
and then,
I know.
And right in the middle of these huge names is our best friend Alessia Cara. That must make you feel pretty awesome to be invited to be a part of this.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know what the lineup was going to be. And then like until the press release, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. It's so cool to be among that company. Like yes, they're my peers now, which is wonderful, but I'm such a fan of these people before anything. So I'm just so excited. I'm going to just use it as like a concert, like a mega concert, and watch everybody. And I mean, it's also for such a good cause. If that is my first time on stage, I don't know if I'll do anything before that, but that'll be a pretty good first time back for sure.
Really, she is kind of playing this down. Let's be very honest about what this is. Shawn Mendes, The Weeknd, and Ed Sheeran, Adam Lambert, BTS, Coldplay, Billie Eilish, Lizzo, Camila Cabello, Andrea Bocelli.
Oh my God.
Metallica.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, Lorde, Demi Lovato, Doja Cat, Keith Urban, Green Day, Usher, Hugh Jackman.
It's nuts.
Damn.
Hugh Jackman. Wait, hold on. Pause.
Is he rapping?
Performing his hit single. That's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, he's kind of funny. You got to throw that in. But then you look at this list and you see your name in the middle. Like, how does it? I mean, does that hit you about where you are in your career and in your life? It must in some way.
I mean, yes and no. It feels like it's hard to hit me. It's hard to process that. Like, it's very hard, like, to even think about the fact that my name is like among those people. It's insane. Like, these are people like Coldplay. Like, these are people that I are like, they're the reason I started music, like some of those people. And like others, like, even though that we're around the same age, like I adore their music. I love them so much. And it's crazy. It's very, very crazy. I don't even know if I've processed anything in my life, but it's very flattering to be among that company for sure.
Metallica was one of the people mentioned in the Global Citizens Festival, which is awesome. However, I also read that you may or may not be working with Metallica to be part of the cover album that's coming out. Are you allowed to tell us which Metallica song you're covering?
Yes, I am. So I got to cover Enter Sandman, which is like the biggest
Get
song.
out.
so awesome.
Do it now.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's one of our favorite songs.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like it's crazy. And I'm singing it with this amazing band of all girls from Mexico. They're around my age, which is even cooler because I feel like there's no like female representation in rock music. So they're like legend, like they're so good. And they're like not like soft, like they're like a metal band. And we like joined forces and they're playing on it and singing on it. And like, we just did this cover together and I'm so excited about it. I hope we did it justice because I love it. I feel like it's really cool. And I can't believe that they wanted me of all people to be on this album, but I'm very excited.
Well, that's what makes it interesting. I mean, that's why we have Hugh Jackman at the Global Citizens thing. You got to throw something different in there.
Right?
Exactly.
Mix it up.
I'm curious to see Hugh Jackman's set.
Don't laugh. You may love it. You may love it. All right, well, Alessia, it's always great spending time with you, and I'm happy we could cover a whole spectrum of things today. Shapeshifter, of course, one of the songs released right around now. Of course, that was the first one you wrote for the album. And Sweet Dream, we're about to play that right now. Listen to these words and see if you can relate. And thank you for coming on with us, Alessia. You know you always have a seat at our table.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, you're gonna regret that. I'll be there every day. Once travel restrictions are lifted, I'm coming back.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna hold you to it. Sweet Dream, here's Alessia Cara.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.